Welcome to Intro Skippers, the podcast where an entertainer and an entertainment journalist are friends and they like the stuff they work on. So here it is. Enjoy. That's not really what I have scripted, but I've been going off book lately.
You know, sometimes you got to go off book.
I do it every time.
You just got to put that foot out over the cliff and hope that the glass bridge
There's
comes
glass
up.
on the cliff?
Didn't that happen in like a Indiana Jones movie or something?
Well, it exists on, I think the Grand Canyon has one. A few different places on different mountains in the world have them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing that. Hell no.
Okay.
I saw that. I saw a video of that in Vietnam, which is where I'm going soon. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm not doing that.
Was that the one where the glass broke too?
No.
It was cracking?
It's not that one, but
okay.
I still don't want to do it. I know logically I should be fine, but it's still scary, which brings us to our show today, Alien Earth.
Wait, you're going to Vietnam. That's cool.
Oh, okay, yeah, it is.
I can't wait. Maybe you can tell us all about it when you get back.
Yeah, so we need to either bank a bunch of episodes or take a break. That's an off-camera discussion.
Okay. Oh, we'll talk about that at another time.
Oh, if you have ideas, introskipperspod@gmail.com. Yeah, today we are talking about Alien Earth. So we finally both watched it. Also, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, we recorded this today.
Yeah. Sorry, we're a little bit late, but we're still coming out on the day that we come out. So
it's just several hours late, which is fine, right?
It's fine. Look, this is episode 28, and this is the first time we're even a couple hours late. What are you going to do?
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
For something no one is forcing us or paying us to do.
Right. They certainly are not paying us, that's for sure.
Oh, boy. Introskippers@gmail.com. Introskipperspod@gmail.com if you want to send us some money.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hold your breath. So we are talking about Alien Earth. We just saw the first 2 episodes, which I really liked. I didn't love everything that happened, but overall, I would say I was really into this. I appreciate the inherent anti-corporate nature of the Alien franchise in general. So that was present in this one, of course, along with the classic sci-fi, what even is humanity tropes, which were aplenty in this one. Now we have further ideas, childhood, lack of bodily autonomy, depersonalization, loss of innocence, and now we are ramping up to what looks like an immovable object versus an unstoppable force, which is essentially an immortal versus an unstoppable killing machine. The production design is on point. What are your highlights?
Love the production design. That was going to be my first comment. I love how they were like, you know what? Let's just go with the original. Let's go what it looked like. I loved the 70s aesthetic of what they thought the future would look like, right? Like there's so many...
in the first Star Wars movie too,
yeah,
where the computers are terrible.
Yeah, and like Soylent Green, Logan's Run, and just computers are just flashing lights and really bad dot matrix looking
and beige boxes.
Yeah. I also loved how like even their advanced technology of like their iPads or whatever were thicker. They're thicker than the iPads that we have.
It's kind of like the prequel problem with Star Wars, where everything looked a lot nicer and glossier and higher tech in the prequels.
Right.
And no one really explained that.
No. That was super weird.
It could have been explained. I mean, I've seen in certain video games where they're like, yeah, the past had really high technology, and that everything got destroyed and we had to start over, and that's why what we have now is lower tech.
Yeah, that's a good sci-fi trope. I mean, that's a good way to explain everything away, but Star Wars prequels didn't do it. Yeah.
Well, I will say the setting is in 2120, which is 2 years before the Nostromo mission and 16 years after Alien Covenant, which was when Wayland and Yutani merged to form everyone's least favorite mega corporation.
Right.
Second least favorite after Amazon.
Or I was going to say Arasaka, but I was
Yeah,
jumping.
sure.
I
Yeah,
was
that's
jumping
what I
around.
meant. That's what I meant. That's what I meant, Jason. Did I ever tell you when I briefly worked for Twitch corporate,
No.
that I was joking? Well, we were all like talking and joking in a chat,
Uh-oh.
and
I
then
can't wait to hear this.
I started making fun of Jeff Bezos, and then it went silent. Anyway, I lasted 3 months.
How far did you, like, how deeply did you make fun of him?
Not that much.
Okay, but enough to be awkward.
I just joked about him being like, oh, Daddy Bezos, and he controls everything, and we do whatever he wants. And it wasn't that deep. I could have gone much harsher. I could have said he's ruining the planet. I could have said that he is clearly having a midlife crisis and taking it out on all of us. I could say that he is destroying the workplace in many ways. There's so many things I could have done. And I went light, but oh boy, did no one respond to that.
Yeah.
And that clearly wasn't the place for me.
I feel like maybe that ended up in a report somewhere.
Who cares? I didn't like it there anyway.
Okay. Well.
Anyway, sometimes
well
it's okay to not jibe with the corporate structure.
Yeah.
I bring a real we should all quit vibe to the function that they didn't appreciate.
That's fair. I would say that's accurate about you. So,
well, I don't feel that about every place I work, because sometimes I think, oh, they're not horrible, but at some places I do think that. Anyway, I went off track.
Well, what if you worked at the Prodigy?
I don't know, because the issue and the interesting thing about this entire, franchise is that corporations run the world explicitly, not implicitly, like in our world.
Yeah. And there's no more countries. There's just corporations.
There's no more countries. Well, I actually wrote down all the corporations and what territories they control.
Oh.
If we want to go through that.
Yeah. You want to do it right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have Prodigy. We've never heard of this before. This is new for Alien Earth. It's led by Boy Cavalier, which is the second stupidest name I've ever heard.
In my brain, I kept calling him Kid Cudi.
I mean, that would be cooler.
Yeah,
no.
Way cooler.
The way the actor plays him kind of reminds me of Jesse Eisenberg as Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
He is a charismatic but kind of crazy CEO. And his territory includes, this is the smallest amount that I'm aware of. I'm sure it'll unfold. There's a lot of mystery that will unfold, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He runs Prodigy City, New Siam, and he runs a corporate research facility for synths called Neverland. It's on an island. I don't know where it is. And
he's obsessed with Peter Pan.
Yeah. So I actually was a little annoyed with the Peter Pan motif throughout this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I looked into it and I saw in an interview that the actor who plays Boy Cavalier said, oh, he doesn't understand Peter Pan. He doesn't understand the point of it. He's deeply misunderstood it.
I see.
And that made more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not supposed to be great to never grow up. It's not supposed to be your goal.
But it's easy if you're younger to think that is a cool thing. Yeah,
and your mind is so plastic, or there's plasticity to your mind, that you can go into a synth body and be a hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
So sure, potential. Okay, the second one is the one we all know. It's Weyland-Yutani. We all know what they do: space exploration, colonization, weapons research, alien acquisition. So their territories are North and South America, Mars, Saturn, and Saturn's moon.
Okay.
I don't know what they're doing on Mars and Saturn, but that's where we are. Okay, these next ones I got from the internet because I just couldn't figure it out from paying attention and watching. I couldn't get my subtitles to work because I watch Hulu on Disney Plus, and sometimes it's wonky, at least on my TV.
Oh.
Anyway.
Worked fine for me, but...
Well, I don't know what's wrong with me then.
Yeah.
I have the Dynamic Corporation.
Okay.
And their territories are the moon, its orbital infrastructure, and space-based assets. So that's kind of small.
Yeah.
They are
I mean,
primarily focused on satellite networks, lunar operations, and orbital communication.
that makes sense.
Then we have the Threshold Corporation. Their territories are Europe and its regional infrastructure.
Hmm.
They work on biotech, nanotech, genetic research and innovation, educational systems, media control.
Hmm.
We also have the Lynch Corporation. Their territories are Russia, something called the Astromech,
Hmm.
and something called the Astromech.
Okay.
And they work on resources, resource cultivation like minerals, energy, heavy industry, geopolitical influence. So we haven't really heard too much of anything outside Weyland-Yutani. So it's interesting to get to have at least a peek at the other ones.
Yeah. Did they say who controls North America?
Oh, that's Weyland-Yutani,
Okay.
North and South
North.
America.
Got it.
So the
Yeah.
Americas, Mars, Saturn is what Weyland has.
Okay.
It's not clear who controls Africa or Australia. Maybe it's Prodigy. I don't know.
Yeah. Or
Also,
maybe I feel like that would be controlled by one of the older corporations, because even now in on our planet in 2025, there are all sorts of corporations trying to control Africa right now. So
maybe. So I also want to point out that there's 4 kinds of humanoid life forms. Of course, we know
right.
about humans and synths from the rest of the Alien franchise. We have cyborgs, which have been mentioned, but more in periphery material for Alien, not really the movies, but games, comic books, novels, more like that. They aren't one of the biggest factors into the main storylines. And the
They
new one, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say they're almost like legendary, because when the soldiers encounter Morrow, the captain of the crashed ship, they're like, "Holy shit, it's a cyborg!" Like they were like,
Oh,
"Whoa,
that's not how I read it. I read
really?"
it as humans don't like synths and cyborgs.
I
Because
read it.
they're
I
always like, ew, every time.
I thought they were like taken aback, like not so much ooh, but more like, "Oh God, it's a cyborg," you know.
I mean,
But
I read it different, but we'll see how it unfolds.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
And
the
then
new one for this series is hybrids, which are essentially human consciousnesses in synthetic bodies,
right.
which is what Wendy and let's call them the Lost Boys are.
hmm
So
I think they actually called them the Lost Boys, didn't they, at one point?
I think so, but I don't quite
Yeah.
remember. So it starts on the Maginot's crash. It crashes right away. I also liked that they right away signaled, oh, this is going to look like Alien and Aliens. So
hmm
get ready for that.
hmm
That's a signal I like. The Maginot crashes into New Siam, into a building in New Siam, which is controlled by Prodigy. And Weyland-Yutani wants the stuff that was on the ship because it was a Weyland-Yutani ship. What do you think of Morrow, the pilot of the ship?
He's so hard to read. So Morrow is a cyborg, which means that he originally was a human with mechanical enhancements. He feels very emotionless to me, all about the mission. He feels almost cruel in a sense, because he won't save his fellow crew members.
He doesn't care.
Yeah. So does he have so much tech inside of him that he's lost all human empathy? Right now, I'm starting to feel that way. Will that be the case later on? I mean, clearly he's going to be a character that we're going to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I read it as purposeful sabotage, but I'm not really sure at whose behest he did it for.
right, because is he working for the Prodigy because they crash landed in Prodigy land? Was that on purpose? I think that's
I think the crash was on purpose, but I don't think Prodigy was on purpose.
okay.
It's kind of hard to direct a spaceship from space where exactly to crash, especially when you're in a pod hiding from an alien.
Sure it is. You just write it that way.
No. I'm curious though. It seems like the xenomorph. I always want to say xenomorph, but I've been corrected many times.
Mm,
Though I've heard English and Australian people say xenomorph, so I wonder if that's just a dialect, and we can all be, cool about how we pronounce words. But
right.
anyway, do they not eat cyborgs, or is it because he was able to control his emotions so well that he wouldn't feel fear and therefore attract it?
They talk about fear in episodes 1 and 2. Different characters do.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy Oliphant's character, and we're going to talk about his hair in a second. But
It looks good.
Timothy Oliphant's character says to the Lost Boys, "Fear is for humans, and we're not human," or something like that. I mean, something like that. And so I think that Morrow showing zero fear fits into my theory that he has so much tech in him that he's lost all of his humanity. I think that's what was going on. He closed the hatch when the xenomorph was coming after him at the very last second, at the moment that he needed it to close. And then later they cut to it and you see all the scratch marks in it and everything. So the guy almost got him. Yeah, I think that he just can't show emotion anymore.
I wonder if eventually the cyborg becomes more like a synth than a human, because right now it's kind of half and half, right?
Right. Yeah.
Maybe even more so than a hybrid.
Mm-hmm. He did need to breathe still, though, because he put on that air mask. But as far as like mission, emotions,
I'm curious about his physiology.
Yeah, me too.
How much of it is human still, and what parts? Is it just the brain? It's not just the brain, because then he'd be a hybrid.
He had an arm that had like a utility arm where different things came out of it.
It can't just be the arm.
I don't think so.
I wonder what the percentages are and how that affects him. It reminds me of Cyberpunk 2077, where people get cyber psychosis, which it turns out to be just something the cops made up to justify killing people. Real dystopian game, everyone. Check that one out.
That's super anti-corporation too.
Yeah.
But you can play as a non-corp person.
So. Yeah, definitely. I have never played as a corpo. And even when you are a corpo, you're kicked out of it pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder though if this is in line with Prometheus and Covenant or Alien Covenant, because it's sort of established where the xenomorphs come from. It's pretty tied into David's whole engineer black goo stuff. And is this the same? Are all the other aliens that are on the Maginot, are they parts of that, or are they just other creatures? I'd like to see where they all figure in.
Yeah, I mean, that eyeball creature.
That was in the cat?
Yeah.
That was the worst. I did not like that as a cat lover or someone who has a hard time with horror.
So was that from another planet, or was that, like you said, are they all tied in with the xenomorphs? Did you feel like the xenomorph was it like maybe a teenager? It felt like it wasn't fully grown.
Well, they have a pretty fast life cycle.
Okay.
So if it's a teenager, it soon won't be.
Because didn't you think that maybe it was a little bit smaller than the ones we've seen in the movies?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe that's something to keep an eye on. Or it could just be something they've done for the show.
Yeah. When Hermit is on the radio, he's describing it as 8 feet tall. So we'll have to go and see if that's how big they were in the movies too. I'll never forget the movie Aliens when they're looking at them on the radar and they see that they're coming and they don't realize that they're in the ceiling. It's like one of the most scariest movie moments I've ever experienced watching that movie.
We didn't really talk about the characters too much besides Boy Cavalier.
Yeah, let's talk about the characters for sure.
So the main character is a formerly sick child named Marcy Hermit who was terminally ill. And what I've gathered is the only way she was able to live was because Boy Cavalier showed up and said, I can help you, but you can't return to your old life. and he puts her body into a synthetic adult body, and she renames herself Wendy. And then I don't know if it was his idea or her idea for all the other children that she brings into this, other terminally ill children who are going into adult bodies, whether they'll be called Smee, Slightly, and other Peter Pan references as well. She's mentored by a synth named Kirsch and joined by the other hybrids. I think she's the most advanced. I thought it was funny, though. I know some people online have brushed against this, where they are very childlike. Like, they'll giggle at swear words. They'll say things like, ew, yucky, gross, yeah. But I liked that reminder that they are essentially children.
Yeah, the actor that plays Smee, especially, you know, what if like our batteries run out and then we're just like, you know, so I as an actor, I'm sure they had a blast being like, we get to be kids again,
being all childish. I mean, yeah, it's annoying, but guess what? Kids are kind of annoying. I'm sorry to break it to you. So that was a pretty good reminder of the mental capacity of who we're dealing with. I guess they think they're going to mature quickly in their brains so that they can handle things like this extreme Maginot recovery mission.
Yeah.
Because, so Wendy has been monitoring her brother, who is still flesh and bone, normal person. And he is a medic, essentially an army medic for Prodigy as well. And she's been following him and essentially trying to meet up with him and protect him. And eventually she gets her way there because she insists to Boy Cavalier, we should go on this rescue mission where my brother is. And he says, okay. But I feel as though it's not really the first time he's had this thought to send them all out there.
Also, I have to point out, apparently they used to watch the Ice Age movies a lot.
What the hell? And they're quoting Ice Age?
Yeah.
Of all movies? So this is something I had a question about, which is, do they only consume media from now in the future?
And then even they watched old baseball movies baseball movie. They watched old baseball clips from kind of our era.
Or a little older, but like this era in history.
Yeah, that part is strange. I wonder, is it a chicken and the egg thing? Did they write that so that we as the audience could relate to it? Or did they write that for a specific purpose in mind?
I don't know, because Disney owns so many more better films than Ice Age. Is that just what they agreed upon, what they could put in this? Like, no, you can't have Cinderella in that. Cinderella is important. You can have an Ice Age.
Right.
Because them quoting Ice Age became kind of a plot point.
Feel my fear.
Face my fury,
Face your furry what?
Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I felt about, there was this directorial technique of having an opaque image of what they're thinking of next to them. So that character from Ice Age showed up next to someone's head at some point, and then there are other points where Wendy would visualize something in her head, like somewhere elsewhere in the Maginot Crash, and you would see like a little image on top of her thinking about it. I don't know that I like that.
And I don't know if that's like a new mandate for this show, for shows in general. I know that we've talked in the past about how television is sort of changing the way its dialogue works, the way the visuals work. They know that people are on their phones while they're watching. I would like to think that something as storied as the Alien franchise wouldn't do that, but I wonder if that's a network thing.
But that's a visual thing. So if you're looking at your phone, it wouldn't matter either way.
You're not going to see it.
I don't know that I like that technique, because I also don't think it jives with the production design and the production style that we're used to seeing through Alien. And again, it's really weird that they picked Ice Age and the John Leguizamo character. Or which character was that? I
don't even know, because I've never seen any of the Ice Age movies.
I'm looking it up. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, his name is Sloth. No, he is a sloth. His name is Sid, and he is voiced by John Leguizamo, like I thought.
Okay.
But
well, I hope John Leguizamo got royalties.
But
I'm sure he
why? It's so ugly too. I just can't get around it.
What, the sloth character?
Disney owns so many high quality animated movies, and they chose that. Is it because it's Fox technically, and they're like, well, this is Fox, so that is Fox?
I don't know.
I think Fox has better animated movies.
True. Yeah, that was
I'm
a weird
just never
one.
going to get around this.
That pulled me out of it too. That at the, the entertainment business person side of me was like, huh, okay, clearly somebody had to give them the rights to that. So clearly that's a Disney movie. Same with the clips from the 70s animated Peter Pan. I think that's from the 70s, that animated Peter Pan.
I think it's from even older.
Maybe the 60s.
Let me look it up. 1953.
Whoa, I was way off.
My God, that is old. That is so old. Yeah, I'm just wondering why media from this era persists and there doesn't seem to be new media. Or is it just because there's a reverence for this kind of media? Like how Joe, which is the brother's name, he said it was proof. Perhaps just because it's linked to a better time, a more hopeful time. And the present time of the show and movies is horrible.
That could be true. Also, makes me think of in episode 2 when they're trying to evacuate part of the building and they come across some very rich people's party.
Oh, the Rococo French Revolution party.
Yeah, they're all dressed up like it's 18th century France. And of course, they're not listening. And of course, they all get murdered by the xenomorph. But,
well, if I was in danger, I'm sure Boy Cavalier would tell me personally. We are in the same social circles, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think he actually said, we belong to the same club.
And then the guy's like, sir, I'm sure that's, he probably won't. So.
You're like, you have met him, right? Okay.
I don't think so. He doesn't seem to care that much about that kind of thing.
No.
And he was proven right. And then Morrow shows up again in there, I guess is he trying to neutralize the xenomorph, or is he trying to
he's trying to take
him
it
to someone?
He's trying to take it to where it's all about the mission for him. So he puts on the crazy freeze stuff and makes sure that he can go. And that reminds me, in the Prodigy headquarters where they're raising Wendy and the boys, every time they go down the hallway, there's a guy in like full gear with some sort of, I guess, freeze ray that's like constantly freezing one of the rooms. And I really want to know what that's about. They've shown it in both episodes, and it's the same guy. It's like he's in full protective gear, and he's spraying a doorway constantly. I don't know what that's about or why. It doesn't seem very sanitary. So clearly something's going on there.
Well,
and I
didn't pick that up the way you did, so I'm glad you mentioned it. But yeah, I guess that's one of the mysteries that will fold out as we go through the show. By the way, I think I said this, but I've talked to some people who've seen more of the show. Okay. They got press access, and they said these 2 episodes are pretty different from the rest of the show.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Will they tell you? Did they tell you any more than that?
No.
Huh.
Yeah, I think they didn't want to spoil it for me, which they shouldn't have done because I love spoilers. I live for spoilers.
Yep. I know. I know you do. Yeah. So you never have to worry about spoiling anything for Kim.
No, I like it.
If you meet Kim at a convention, you could run up to her and be like, they killed Han Solo. And she'd be like,
yeah, I knew that 10 years ago. Find a better spoiler, man.
I just meant that as an example. Like, I don't know. There could be some, they killed Optimus Prime in the new Transformers movie. And you'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know.
Well, I'm actually more interested in the journey than the destination. So I want to see how the story gets told, and I want to see how we get there.
Sure.
What are the steps they take? What are the techniques? That's interesting to me. So, yeah, I don't really care if you spoil the ending of things for me. And I think that's made me really desensitized because people get mad at me all the time for that kind of thing. I think they're too sensitive. But you know what? Maybe I can just... I've been trying to work at their level. I have to understand that my point of view is the uncommon one.
I've got a spoiler for you.
Okay.
At the end of Lord of the Rings,
I've seen it.
Gets destroyed.
Yes, Jason. I've seen this before.
Mm-hmm. But see, I knew that watching it for the very first time because I read the books, but I still wanted to see how they did it. So I'm with you on that.
That's kind of like the people who read the Game of Thrones books before they appeared on screen, and they'd be like, "Oh, ho, 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 get ready for the red wedding."
Yeah.
And that's not the kind of joy I feel. Like,
no.
I know something you don't know. It's more like I want to see what techniques the creatives and the actors are doing to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
That's more fascinating to me.
The red wedding buildup got annoying. I mean, it was good, but geez, it was like 2 years of if they get to this one point, if they can film this, it's going to blow your mind.
Actually, they didn't include Lady Stoneheart, and in my opinion, and it's like, okay, yes, there are different experiences, and these are different continuities. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We can all be cool and enjoy things without being spoil sports about it, or being pissed off about it, or hurting other people's experiences, I guess, which is something that I need to listen to and not hurt anyone else's experience. My bad. I'm working on it.
Okay.
Ooh, so we have this... Finally, Wendy catches up with her brother. She does not want to reveal that she is his little sister, Marcy, who he thinks is dead. But her friend, who, by the way, has the mind of a child, reveals it because he has the mind of a child.
Yeah, children can't keep secrets.
No. Also, wasn't she eventually going to tell him?
Right. She just wanted to ease him into it. I have two questions
so
for you because it was not clear to me. One, how long has Wendy been a synth before the other boys and girls became it? Do we know that?
Sure don't. The timelines are a little murky.
It feels like I feel like maybe she was one because they showed several scenes of her training by herself, that maybe she was one for a month or two. I mean, is that
Or it could have been a year. Yeah. I don't know.
Because then how far apart in age were her and her brother? And
That's what I was trying to figure out.
And how long has she been dead?
So
dead.
She died at what, 12?
Mm-hmm.
And her brother looks like, I mean, I can't go off what he looks like, but he said he wants to go to med school. So I'm going to assume he's in his mid-20s.
Right.
So he's over a decade older than her?
Yeah, I mean, that happens in families, but it's a little odd.
It's a little odd. Also, their father has passed away. And I guess their mother has also passed away because they say he's the last one.
And their father passed away after Marcy, quote unquote, died. So
yes,
clearly the father died recently.
Pretty recently.
Mm-hmm.
But they couldn't have made him into a hybrid because only child minds can go into the hybrid bodies.
Got it.
Yeah, I think the timeline is a little murky too, because the Maginot was on a 65-year mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was Morrow frozen the whole time? Or in the cryosleep, rather? Or was he up and about doing stuff? And if so, why does he look young?
Right. No, I think he was asleep for a lot of it.
But not all of it.
Now, are Kirsch, Timothy Oliphant's character, and Dame Sylvia, S.E. Davis's character, are they synths or are they
Kirsch
humans?
Is definitely 100% a synth.
Okay.
Sylvia, I don't know.
Okay. So Kirsch is not in any
about it.
Yeah, he's not in any danger of being hurt either.
No, he talks constantly about being a synth, about not being a human. He is there to sort of guide Wendy into her new body and talk about her new humanity. And he says to the kids, you're not human. Don't worry about it. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing. He doesn't talk like that.
Yeah.
I think he's really interesting. What Oliphant is doing, I know he's a card that's going to play out later, but it hasn't happened yet.
And his hair looks fantastic. He looks like a different person. I did not recognize him right away. My brain was like, hey, I know that actor, but who is that?
Who is that handsome, model-esque actor with white hair? Yes. I don't know if that's just his hair color now, or if that's
I feel
on
like
purpose.
they were making it to make him kind of. To me, it felt like an homage to Blade Runner, to Rutger Hauer's character in Blade Runner.
His hair was white at Comic-Con. I'm just going to say that.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Maybe
know
that's his hair now. It just
that's his choice or
it
what.
felt artificial.
It could be a character thing, and he just kept it. I'm not sure. I also have questions about where this fits later, because we never hear about prodigy or hybrids in the future. So what does that mean for them in the future of this timeline, rather? Because we have all the Alien movies, basically, or the classic ones after this. Does that mean we watch Prodigy get destroyed in the series? Does that mean hybrids are a failed experiment? Or do they become more synth-like? Or do they hide and become more human-like? I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. So by this timeline, like, Ripley hasn't even been born yet?
Yes, she has been born.
Okay.
Because the Nostromo is 2 years in the future.
Okay.
She's an adult woman. She's around.
So we could see Ripley in this series.
Maybe. I wonder if they would de-age the original actor or hire someone new. I would guess they just wouldn't show her face. To be honest.
Maybe they talk about her or something.
Yeah.
Talk about the mission.
It could just be like, very small mentions or cameos here and there. Like, I thought the horror scene with the cat was a reference to Jonesy.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I thought about that right away.
I never relate more to a character than when Ripley has the cat carrier with Jonesy inside screaming, and she's dragging it around the ship, and she's going, damn it, come on, because that's exactly what carrying a cat around in a carrier in any situation is like.
Mark Maron talks about that during the LA fires.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He has 3 cats, and he's trying to get them in, and he gets one into the carrier right away, puts one in an Amazon box, and then he puts a third one. I can't remember where he puts the third one.
A basket or a
wicker
hamper.
basket. Yeah, a wicker basket with a top.
And then the cat poops immediately.
I think all 3 of them did.
Yeah,
but yeah. Getting a cat in a carrier.
Cats are the same. In space, here, being infected by an alien, cats are exactly the same. All right. Well, I think we have 8 episodes of this show total, which should be a good exploration. I've heard great things about the show, so I'm really looking forward to it.
It definitely hooked me. There are pieces of it that I'm not crazy about, but if the other 6 episodes are different, I'm willing to give it a try.
I've heard one of the episodes might be considered TV episode of the year.
Wow.
What a tease, right?
Okay.
I don't know what that means yet. If I knew, I would tell you, because I don't care and I have a problem.
This podcast has spoilers, people.
Well, that's kind of the whole thing.
When available.
Every single episode has spoilers and we don't warn them. Maybe we should put something up about that. Because someone actually, who I know in real life, told me, oh, I like that you don't make a big deal about it. But the people who don't like that you don't make a big deal about it are going to make a huge deal about it.
Yeah, I don't know. There used to be like a 3-day rule, right?
Well, it's been more than 3 days.
Yeah. So I remember somebody got really mad at a Nerdist article discussing an episode of something, and then Nerdist wrote back and said, hey, it's been 3 days. It's the 3-day rule.
I think it's okay if you don't put it in the headline or the thumbnail. Because if you do, then it's a little unfair, because they could have just stumbled across it.
True. Yeah.
So, but once you get into it, I think that's your problem because you know what you're doing, right?
You can
There's
always click away.
Podcast from The Ringer called Midnight Boys, and I'm actually friends with one. I know two. Okay, I'm closer with one of them. And before they get into spoiler discussion, they have like this raid alarm that goes, and then one of the guys is like, "You are listening to a podcast about this. Obviously, spoilers are coming," which I really like. I like that attitude.
That's funny.
It's a good vibe for me.
I mean, maybe the tagline to our show though should be intro skippers. All spoilers all the time.
All spoilers. Get used to it. Calm down. You know what you're doing. You know what you're clicking. You can't possibly be mad that there's spoilers inside of it. It's not in the title, I think. No, it's not in the title.
No.
Anyway, I think we should wrap this up since we are talking about our own spoiler potential problem.
And we're late. We're late, and we're
super late.
I need to put this together and post it online. So
guess what, everyone? It's noon right now. How soon will you be listening to this?
Probably by 1, hopefully.
Oh my God. I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Maybe
Let us
by
know
12:30.
at introskipperspod@gmail.com. I cannot stop plugging it. We will talk to you next time. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Intro Skippers with Jason Charles Miller and Kim Horcher is produced and edited by Kim Horcher and Jason Charles Miller. The name order doesn't really matter. Additional writing by Kim Horcher. Theme song and incidental music by Jason Charles Miller. Take it away, me. You can rate and review this show, 5 stars only please, anywhere you'd like, and you might find your review read on a future episode. Got a question? Email us at introskipperspod@gmail.com. That too could be featured on a future episode. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Intro Skippers on your favorite podcast platform, but preferably one we're actually on. All right, thanks for getting this far. Here's a special treat just for you. I'm gonna stop talking.